episode. I'm going live. Uh, just melting over a couple figs here. I just got 18 seconds in. Portal with the peace side. All right, good. Good, good, good. Um, so, yeah, very crappy day outside today. Some people want us to complain that it's 90 degrees, right? Well, it was cold today and rainy. My shit. That is the shit kind of weather that I cannot stand whatsoever. I wish I knew that it was 3 months and what 3 months it was coming so I could prepare for it during all the warm months or whatever. I tell you, if I had to buy pick though, I would take just 3 months of that crap if that was the bare minimum. And then, so then all the vampires would come out, you know? I'm not one of those people who likes rain. I don't like it. It wrecks a lot of shit, especially where I got my things the way they are. I would rather have no rain, honestly. This way I could be outside all the time with no worries. I mean, if I've ever fell on a hard time, um, clear weather in 90s, 80s, I I can do for sure. But not any of that groggy crap, I'll tell you that. This is real, everyone. This is real. And I don't need anyone's snide comments that I said some things to some people, so they're going to hold this against me because I said some things and I supposedly threatened certain women in the past on here or whatever. Nonsense. You can go fuck yourselves, okay? And I think you know who you are, all right? I got to, I'll read the comments quickly. I don't like rain. I really do not. I would only take it for 3 months of the year if I could. And I wish ideally I knew when those months it would rain. For sure. Because you're never going to have a world with zero rain. You know, you're not going to have that. I mean, even if there's days it comes down really bad, just plan for it during the nice weather months so you know exactly what to do. You know? You know your hideout plan from it. You know that's when you're not going to do a lot of your activities and all that. Just cocoon up indoors all those friggin' months, you know? I'm just saying. But there's a lot of shit going on. CM Durf, what's going on? I'm I'm just sick to death of the world that we're in, the society we're in. And I know deep down, a lot of you know I'm right. That we're the only nation around the world that has to stand out. Every other country is under socialism but us. Why is it just us? And, and the people who defend capitalism to extremes, it's just sickening to me. This is the society we've created because of it. Homeless people, people down on their luck non-stop. The only place they can fucking go is a motel if nobody local will give anyone a fair shot. That's the world we're fucking living in right now. You know what I mean? And you meet some of the nicest people, but they got nothing to help you out with. They got nothing to give you. They got nothing to give anybody, really. They don't even have much to give their own families. I mean, we're living in a world that makes the good people poor. Okay? And there's no way they're getting back up right now because the system's fucked up. And it's even worse when you're in red state America. It's even fucking worse. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's worse. The so-called, that's the other thing, to all you people who want to run to red states, right? You better have a plan. Because for some of us, we're not getting that cheap, discounted life like a lot of you want. When you want to leave your states like California, Colorado, or wherever the hell you want to leave, to go to the South, to go to certain Midwestern states, I guess you could say. And you want to go there for political reasons, right? But yet, the ones that are smart enough will stay right where they are. But the ones that are just more honest that want to move away and go to those states, they're just a little bit more outspoken about what they want to do, I guess. But and then there's some people that are afraid to lose it all, so they'll stay in the blue states. They automatically know they'll lose everything they have if they leave, and they don't leave, even if they're not liberal, so to speak. So I'd like to see some of those arguments come forward that if you're a really successful person in a liberal state, and you can make it there just fine, you're not going to go anywhere. That's just the truth. You're not going to go anywhere. But I would be the same way if I could do that, you know? I mean, at this time where everywhere is getting fucked, right? I'm going to make my decision based on where is the best place to go. Never mind the cost. Never mind if it's perceived expensive or gas is $7 a gallon. That's where I'm going to go. I really don't give a fuck anymore. So, that's just it. Just thinking of my next move. Unless a miracle happens here, I'm more than likely going. And that's exactly the same realization I came to when I was in South Carolina. The same exact one. Sure, there's some nice aspects of living in certain states, but if you can't get the benefit of living there, then it's out. You know? I'm looking for couch sharing options right now, actually. I got to look for that. Not to mention, I got to drive and spend gas money to get out of here if I'm going to do it. So I have some things coming up, and my take is, if you're not going to pay up, don't come on this channel. You know, as far as if you want to criticize me and judge me, you know, and you don't want to put up any money, then no, you can't come on here. That's how it's going to work. Michelle, who are you, Michelle? Are you one of the Michelles? Oh, okay. Now I was just talking about this. Funny, because I could be in LA much sooner than you think, actually. Maybe a little bit of change of plan. I may be out there sooner than you think. I'm trying to get in talks with certain individuals to try to make something happen, just to try to get a start. Even if nothing's permanent, you know what I'm saying? Just to get somewhat of a start. And a little footing, maybe. But yes, I could be in LA very soon. I don't know exactly when. It could be around, I'm estimating maybe 15 days from now, maybe. Oh, you have been? Really? Well, it's that time. It's time to go for broke. I've never been there. I've never lived there. But I've been through so much shit in my life. Who knows? It could actually change things for the better for me because I've failed everywhere else practically. But I have not been there. I have not been there. I've been to Sacramento before. I actually kind of liked Sacramento when I was there. I've studied California cities and stuff too, even the ones I haven't been to. And from my recollection, San Diego would not be good for me. San Diego would be as bad as Portland, from everything I've been told. Just it's like a Portland with sunshine. That's what San Diego comes across as to me. Do I miss the South? Not really. Not really. Well, I would have stayed if I liked it that much. In fact, I went through the South and didn't want to really stop. I went through the Appalachian Mountains. I enjoyed a little bit of the ride, but I didn't. I didn't really want. I stopped in Tennessee briefly. I thought that was nice, the Murfreesboro, Tennessee. But then I saw a lot of traffic, and I'm like, oh shit, it's right around Nashville. So that's the thing with traffic increasing everywhere now in the United States. Um, what the hell, you know? Why don't you go to the best place with the best weather in America? With everything getting fucked, you might as well. That's how I see it. With everything getting fucked, you might as well. You know, San Diego was not like Portland, Oregon. Socially, I'm saying it might be. Maybe not the climate. Maybe not the fact the beach is right there, no. But socially, I would say that San Diego and Portland have more in common than one might think. It's based on my research now. Okay? If I'm wrong, then describe it to me. Explain why San Diego is not like Portland. Explain that to me. Because they both seem very much the same in some ways. They might have the same density to them. They might. 14.5 million people, huh? I knew that. Why would I need a heads up? I know there's tons of people out there. It's like the most in the nation almost over there. San Diego, well, it's a military town. When I was in Columbia, South Carolina, I thought that was like a poor man's version of a San Diego, maybe. With the climate and with the trees and stuff. It would be the South's answer, I think, to San Diego. Because it's a military city. And a college city, too, with a lot of transients. That's what I looked at it like. But since it's on the West Coast, I'm pretty damn sure some people from San Diego went to Portland, though. And vice versa. Okay. Oh, it's yeah, well, if Tampa gets so expensive, it'll end up being like San Diego, I think, if it gets so expensive. Yeah, there's different like like Tampa and Columbia both are like poor man's versions of San Diego, I would say, for the East Coast. Like if Columbia had like more nice parts in it and it was more developed, I could see it possibly becoming more like San Diego. San Diego's more blue collar with the Hispanic community. You mean it is? Because it seems like it's mostly Hispanic people there, so they probably have a Hispanic working class. I would imagine. That's what I would see. Maybe I'll go to Long Beach. I don't know. How about Santa Clarita? Someone from Santa Clarita contacted me. San Diego, yeah, Hispanics that put white on the census, yeah. Because I've heard it's a highly Hispanic city. To where there's not even many. The white people there are rich, is my impression of San Diego. The white people there are not working class. They're rich, most of them. And then the working class is the Mexicans. Again, this is my interpretation. Okay, I might not be 100% right, but now you're in here talking about it. Cast and blast. I'm not dude, okay? Don't call me dude. I'm not with that. The fuck, dude. Yeah, Dan, some of these people don't realize I'm going through a hard time right now. And that I'm trying to really sort things out. I'm struggling badly right now. And I could probably buy another week here, but I'm not going to be living in hotels forever here. I'm not going to be able to do that. And I was only able to do that because I didn't find anywhere to go. I mean, why do I have to explain it anyway? Why the fuck do I have to explain it? All right. About 20 miles. Yeah, it's pretty close in, I heard. But the person who called me, ended up being a dickhead, though. Okay. So that one didn't go well. I did not. Okay, Santa Clarita Valley. All right. So what's it typically? Upper middle class to rich? Would you call it upper middle class? I'd probably say it's upper middle class, honestly. I know they're one game from the finals, right? I haven't even been following. I mean, it's when I don't pay attention, and now they're in the finals finally. You know? Yeah, that's what I thought. It wasn't extremely wealthy, but it's upper middle class. Yeah, that's about right from what I gather. Hey Dan, I'm going to read off the comments I got early. I'm not going to mention their names per se, but I got some comments. Don't someone said this to me, Dan. Listen to this, all right? Don't get mad because I work hard for my white privilege and I'm a white business owner. You can do anything you try hard enough for. Bumming around in motels is your discretion. Like that's a choice of mine. It's not a choice for some people. These people don't fucking get it, you know? It's not a choice for some people to be doing this. Yeah, I am ethnic. What are you talking about? Fuck, dude. All right, Dingleberry, what's up? There's someone speaking in Spanish to me here. Christ. God damn it. There's a few signature comments that I got that I wanted to read them out. Oh, someone said this to me. Look, I was thinking about giving you money, but you clearly ain't homeless, and this is how ungrateful you are just for asking a question. It's saying you deserve more than anyone is ridiculous. He didn't read my words very well, apparently. I said I deserve it more than anybody right now. That's not even the point. These people, they like to make stupid comments. It's funny, I'm getting these crowds who hate the beggars right now are coming right to me. When I haven't done this for a long ass time. Um, oh, here's the one. Says Ruby right here. Yes, I am a victim. I am a victim. Yes, I am. Of societal circumstances, I am a victim. Thank you. Yeah, I am. You know, I'm trying to do my best, but I am a victim. Yes. Hmm. Ruby says every time you curse someone using black magic, it comes right back to you 3 times as hard. That's how black. She doesn't know shit though. These people who think they know so much, even if I'm not an expert, still these people think they know shit about it. So this doesn't surprise me one bit. No, because in the past, I'll tell you something. In the past, it didn't come back to me like that every time I did a curse. No, it never did. This is a force that got me not off of YouTube. Not on YouTube, rather. Do you realize the outside world is much harder to deal with than on here? Do you realize that people hide a lot better in the real world? Do you know that people play their stunts a lot more in the real world? There's a lot of dirty play in the real world. At least online, I call the bullshit out on when I come on here. And I pretty much see the people and they scurry when I call them out. And they do in the real world too, but they're 2 different playgrounds, but they're very difficult. The real world is hard. I'm telling you right now, the real world is fucking hard. You think it's easy out in the real world. This is like, this should be the play world. But unfortunately, now that I think about it, this should be the play world. But it still isn't because there needs to be more encouraging individuals on people's channels here and not looking to troll them for the lulz. There shouldn't be none of that going on. I would outlaw that if I was in charge of a country. You know, I would outlaw trolling and I would shut the internet down for certain people. In fact, I would contemplate shutting the internet down altogether if I could be a dictator of a country. I would shut the internet down in some sectors. I'd get rid of YouTube. I would get rid of YouTube. I would do that. I'll tell you that right now. I would help get rid of YouTube little by little. You know what? If not the... I am. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, I know I am. Not saying that other people are not smart, but I would say that when it comes to... Oh, here's what I was going to tell you. I can pretty much judge people pretty well on this platform if they put a face to themselves. I can pretty much judge someone based on the words they say. I'll find out very fast the kind of person they are. Okay? But in the real world, people are very good sometimes at pretending they're people that they're not. They'll show a place to you like it's an actual living, maybe it was an actual living situation, and then something came up where someone moved out, and then they decided they were going to try to defraud everybody of money by telling them they can move in when that isn't their intention. Anyone ever hear of a scam like that? Some states outlawed them. The blue states outlawed those kind of scams, actually. You can't even get those kind of scams anymore in some states. I'll tell you right, they did away with those. But hey, I made a police report today about the son of a bitch. That's what I fucking did. And hopefully they got back to him. I actually have the number of the police report right here that I made. I'm not fucking around now. Ever since I got thrown out of my place, I'm not fucking around with people. If anyone comes in my crosshairs and they fuck with me, I'm going to make their life a living hell. That's what I'm going to fucking do. I'm going to make their life a living hell. I literally got that son of a bitch on edge today. And he answered me like he knew the cops came and visited with him or something, or called him on the phone. You want to fuck with me? I'll give it to you. I'll fucking give it to you good. Trust me on that. I just can't wait till all the laws go out the window. I really can't wait. Because someone like me will get their rightful revenge physically on people if if the laws go out the window. I want that world to come back where you could just walk up to somebody and just brutalize them or beat the shit out of them and there won't be any repercussions for it. I want it to go back to those days, when you could actually have done that to all the people who fuck you over and do you wrong or whatever. What's up, Tasha? What's going on? What was that deal there with that motel? I never called that Flamingo Motel. I was tempted to a couple times, though. I was tempted to put a call into there at some point. That guy seems like he's like Coates. It's kind of funny. He kind of is like Coates in a weird kind of way. No, like whatever time you could actually teach somebody a lesson for doing you wrong, the physical way. Can't they? Because Greg will be there. What's that? Can't call. I don't know why he stays there like that. I mean, answer me this, Tasha, right? What's so good about that location? What's so good about that area that he feels he's got to stay there? That's what I could never figure out. I would have wanted to leave an area like that, but I would have probably stayed there a couple weeks or something. There just wouldn't be enough over there, really. If you're going to be paying for a motel, at least friggin' go to an area where there's a lot around you. That's my take on it. You posted something else. It does suck, doesn't it? I don't think it's that good. I think it's just the only game in town. That's what I think. There's not a lot of motels there, so he kind of has to stay there in a way if he really wants to stay in that area so bad. I don't know why. What's down there? Punta Gorda sucks. That's one thing I noticed about that part of Florida. It was even worse than it was a little more north. Like, what's there to do down there? What's there really to do? You had an opportunity to go out west and not come back. You know that, right? You had an opportunity to go to the Southwest and just not come back to Florida. That's what I'm thinking of doing now. I'm thinking of going to the Southwest now, like when you were there. I'm thinking of now going out there. Not New Mexico, but I'm going to be going to possibly where you were, maybe in the LA area. I'm just going to drive down there. That's what I'm going to do. I'm setting up a few arrangements possibly to see who will budge or possibly get me to stay on a couch even in the meantime until I get some footing possibly. But I may go to LA. What do you mean by that? Southwest disappear, make friends, live. What do you mean? What? Fort Myers was always isolated, though. I don't know what it is about Florida. I got stuck in this Florida vortex for 10 years, but it was not a good state for me at all to live in. I'll tell you right now, I got stuck in this vortex in Florida. And then it traps you in. Then it's like an ex. It tries to keep telling you to come back. Like, oh, everything will be all right this time. Oh, yeah. Then you go back to Florida, and it's the same old suckery. Better than Florida, though. Are you kidding me? Did you really run into Illuminati and Freemasons in Florida? I mean, California. Because they got several of them in Florida. You're joking, right? You're fucking joking. Like Florida doesn't have any of those people to come off it. What do you think all those people in the sticks are over there. They probably have connections. They're probably like the weird cousins in the backwoods of some of those people in the Illuminati. Florida sucks too. That's my friggin' point. I'm done with that state. I just don't like it over there anymore. Like whenever I even did like it or liked it a little more, there were still people telling me they'd rather be in California. Even back then, there were people who'd rather, I mean, Southern California. There were people who, I should reiterate, because there are some parts of California that suck too. And it's a huge state. There's many different sections of it. It's not even like all the same in that whole state. Like it is in some states, you know. Um, so people who lived in Tampa, there were a few that were in the LGBT scene who told me they liked LA a whole lot better, but they lived in Tampa because their business was there or something. But they visited LA every chance they could, kind of thing. We're going back a long ways when Tampa was better than it is now, even, and people were saying that. That's what I'm trying to say here. And now Tampa's flooded with right-wing extremists. Tasha, why do you like to hang around right-wing extremists unless you're one too? Why do you want to hang around right-wing extremists for? You know, I'm so sick of dealing with these racists and fascists. I'm so fucking sick of dealing with them. You know? Or trans people who go against their own interests and vote Republican and all this crap. But at least make it a place where there's more better looking people per capita anywhere. I mean, hey, whatever at this freaking point. Because anywhere where there's even uglier people, or say they could be fat, they could be any body type, but let's say they're not beautiful, okay? Some of these people sometimes can have cases on themselves too. Like Rosie, what are you talking about? It's full of old people and hippies. Well, what's like Rosie? You gotta be clear with me. I don't care about what the ugliest state is. I'm not even gonna discuss that. Sit down. All right. Can anyone are people afraid to speak up against conservatives or something around here or Republicans? Why doesn't anyone ever challenge some of the right wingers down here? Why don't they ever get called out in this community really? Except if it's a sock account by a handful of people. Yeah, Rosie is a coward though. Rosie didn't come out and said she supported Trump, but I know she friggin' did. Let's be real. I know she friggin' did. I don't like Hannity at all. I don't like Tucker. I don't like Ingraham. I don't like any of them. I'm gonna be real with you on that. Sometimes if they act too clownish, I can't really hate them though. If they're too clownish, you know. But as far as some of the other people on here, Conan, I don't even know who that is, dude. Tasha, you're living in a world that doesn't exist. Let me just tell you that right now. There's not going to be ending Freemasons and all that kind of shit. They're going to be in certain places and all that. The only way they're going to go is if everything gets so bad around them and they're not going to have anywhere to go or anywhere to spend their money. And then they're going to be bored out of their mind. The libertarian right ideology is dead. It doesn't exist. It's not coming back. There's no such thing as no laws. There's always laws to a society. That's one thing you don't get, Tasha, is there's always going to be laws in rules. And businesses are going to set rules. And if you don't like them, you can't really fight them all the time. That's just the thing. Unless you really felt you were unfairly done, you could write a bad review about them. You could But if you keep doing what you did at that Flamingo Motel everywhere you go, I don't have to do anything, and I'm at risk of being thrown out somewhere. Hell, they threw me out of my apartment that I was living at. Okay? 9:30 in the morning, I get a knock from the police, all right? But it was because the homeowner filed at court over me. He filed at court the day they came here at 2 in the afternoon last Thursday. They came at 2 in the afternoon and talked with me. I think the one wellness check I ever got, right, was not on camera, and I was off YouTube for 4 days. Answer me this, okay, Tasha, or anyone in here, answer me this. Has there ever been a wellness check put on somebody 4 days being off YouTube and not being on camera? All of them have been on camera, haven't they? All of them have been on camera, right? Not mine. That's why I think someone sophisticated was behind this that wasn't even around this community, because I was offline for 4 days. I didn't even do a video in 4 days. And I even privated a couple videos or streams that I did. And I wasn't even here for 4 days. And then at 2 in the afternoon, the police show up. Yeah, but whenever someone said they were going to swap me on here when I was live, it never happened. So none of you did anything to me. You just want to take false credit for it. There was someone watching my YouTube channel more local to me, and I think they lived like around 5 blocks away or something, but they just didn't want to reveal themselves to me. They were fucking with me. And I even had another email from someone in my Melton John Gmail account when I was checking it that night from someone else. They said they were 16 years old. They wanted to try to get me for pedophilia too that night. So there were some people hiding in the bushes near me looking to set me up that happened to be watching my channel. That's how what happened to me happened to me. It wasn't any of you. As much as you want to think it was you, it was not any of you. So stop saying you put curses. You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. I'm just borderline right now. I'm borderline. I'm not totally out on the streets, but I'm borderline. Very much so. So you didn't totally succeed yet. I'm still hanging on, but it's very hard out here. Very fucking hard. You have no idea. You have no fucking idea. Somebody you out there don't. Yeah, well, that's the term I use. They're hiding in the bushes. Like they told me they were in the bushes when I was streaming. They said, look around, I'm in the bushes over where you are over there. That's what they were doing. So then I go back. I'm like, you in the fucking bushes? Huh? I was ready to fight them. I really was. If they were in the bushes, oh, you in the bushes? I turned around and that time I did a stream at night. And I went behind me. You're in the fucking bushes over here? Come out. So they are in the bushes, really, because they're hiding from me. You have a vehicle. Why not a door? Dash doggy. Seth, it's all complicated, all right? Do you realize someone can only work if they have a residence permanently? Do you know that's how things work? Unless you're a fool. And you treat a motel as a permanent residence. You're not going to save any ounce of money working a job doing that. You take the cheapest route possible. If you can, then work. That's what I do. I'm not busting my back to pay $1,400 a month. I'll tell you that right now. I can't do that. You know? I can't do that. I'm disabled. and I'm trans, and I got a few other things going on here. I may not look like I'm physically disabled per se, but I have problems. I have enough problems, period, that stop me from making the most of myself. All right? And you absolutely need an address. You need a fucking address in order to have a job. I understand what Cyrax is saying, though. When he tries to work a job, I believe Cyrax tries really hard to work a job, but the trolls call. Oh, that's the other thing. All these motherfuckers are down here. They tell you to get a job. They tell you, oh, work hard. You can make the most of yourselves. But then when you work a job and people see any trace of where you're working, you know what they do? They call your job and they try to get you fired. Go die, you piece of shits. Go die in a fire, every single last fucking one of you. You tell someone to get a job, and then when they do, you try to get them fired. You fucking scumbag pieces of shit. Hey, someone light it up, all right? Come on, I've been in here a while. Can somebody light it up in here? Come on, light me up. Fucking, it's ridiculous. No one's lit me up. Out of all these random channels covered, there's got to be someone lighting me up. 27 viewers, you pieces of shit watching. You want to fucking support me and you don't want to type in here, then send me a private donation or something. PayPal.me/John Melton. Send me a private donation or something. I understand if you don't type in here, but just show me in some way that you're a supporter, for Christ's sakes. Some of those people used to come around. They don't come around anymore, really. Yeah, that's the reason why mass shootings happen, because people are pushed over the edge and they're bullied all the time. That's why. That's why they happen. That's exactly why. I hope more of them happen. If that's what it's going to take. I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but if it happens, am I going to really feel all that bad? No. I'm really fucking not. Honestly. This system needs to change. It's a broken system. It's a broken fucking system. Enough is enough already with all this. See, I'm not an establishment Democrat. I'm not going to be in an outrage over all these shootings. I'm really not. I understand people can be crazy. Certain things happen. All right? I'm not going to be in an outrage without looking into what possibly really caused this. Over this. And no, banning all guns is not the answer. But banning the mentality behind the guns is the answer. In my opinion. It's the mentality behind the guns that makes the difference. Say we legalize $20, Tasha. You have $20 for real? Shit, thanks, Tasha. $20 from Tasha Thielen. We'll figure this out. You people better kick in or get out. Yeah, exactly. Kick in or get out. That's right. Wow. Alrighty. So, what was I going to say? But it's really the mentality behind the firearms, you know? Say you make everything legal, okay? You put no restrictions on any type of gun, okay? But yet you ban the mindset that goes with the pro-gun crowd. But you don't ban any of the guns, but you ban the mindset. There are crimes against that mindset, just not on the guns themselves. Say you do something like that, right? And then the only people who could own guns really are the ones who are not the gun nuts, and they can have any gun of their choice, okay? I bet you hardly any of them will pick the assault rifles. I bet you they wouldn't even grab them. Honestly, it's a certain mentality of people that need that kind of a weapon, is my opinion on that. Especially when there's no war going on. You're not going to need that to defend yourself, you know? You're not going to need anything that huge to defend yourself, number one. You know? I mean, unless you really know for sure that people are going to be coming at you with those weapons, and they're not going to be the government more than likely. They're going to be the crazy, dangerous, right-wing citizens that you may need them for, however. And only get them if you're going to need it because they got them. That's about all, assuming they're the ones that are going to kill you at some point, you know? Or they're going to walk the streets together armed while you're in your house looking out the window wondering what the hell they're doing with all those AK-47s or whatever the hell they have. You know what I mean? Neither of us do. We need to support good. Yeah, that's a good way of seeing it. Yes, they're the ones that are just as bad. Yes, essentially. Yes. Yep. But the only way I would ever get a high capacity assault rifle, I'm going to tell you right now, the only way I would ever get one of those to begin with is if I felt there were a lot of gangs around me, or I felt there was a lot of just right-wing nutjob types around me who could very easily use them on you if they didn't like you for some reason. Assuming the laws go out the window, people aren't going to be that polite anymore. I'm telling you, it's going to all go out the window. That's the only time I can think of where I would get something like that. Maybe. Or live with someone who would have all that stuff, in case someone wanted to come at them or whatever. But otherwise, I would not own one of them, you know? I really wouldn't. I don't see a use for it. I don't see a purpose for those weapons, really. Honestly. The tech that beats any rifle, really. Alright, well. I think anything I wanted to show anybody tonight. What do I got to show here? Oh, I'm going to give a recommendation, okay? This soup right here, right? Anyone ever get Progresso soup by chance? I want you to try this out. If you see this in your local store, give this a try. It is very good. And I've made my own tortellini soup too, but this stuff's very good. 3 cheese tortellini by Progresso. This stuff is very good right here. Get that next time you go to the store if you got them near you. Because I don't think everyone sells that. You know, I was kind of lucky to find that actually over here. And they got that. What? There's no head cheese Progresso soup. That sounds disgusting. What the hell is that? Head cheese Progresso soup. I'm getting thirsty. I need something to drink right now. So you know what I'm going to grab? To all you out there, all you Juggalo fans out there, get a load of this right now. Look at what I got. Look at what I got, folks. To all you Juggalo fans out there. Faygo Black Cherry Cola. I got Faygo Black Cherry Cola right here. Big 24 ounce. You're gonna grab something with some girth. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Honestly. Dan, what are you doing? Are you gonna grab a kick? What? Tastes like real black cherries are in here too. Not a real artificial taste. Although all cherry's good, I find. Even if there's a little bit of an artificial cherry taste, or even like a maraschino cherry, it's all good with cherry. Some artificial fruit taste doesn't taste very good, though. Fago. Yeah, they are stupid, aren't they, dear? These trolls are some of the stupid. Mm-hmm. I have to say, I was entertained, though, when you did call the Flamingo Motel. I was entertained by that. I found that back and forth a bit funny, because you don't see that very often. You know what I think? That guy that's the manager at the front desk of that Flamingo Motel, I think he's gay. Just my intuition about him, okay? I think he's actually gay. That's my impression that I got from that owner of the motel there. He gives off that vibe to me. You liked it for real? You thought you said it was a dub. Thought you said the whole place was a dub. So it was just him? The place was nice though? Really nice? They're in the closet for decades. Yeah, that's true. Oh, it was. So, but it's the only game in town, right? It's like the only place in the area that's like that, right? Is that kind of why you like it? Because I was in a dump called Magnuson Hotel in Columbia, South Carolina. Have you ever went by the Magnuson in your ever go by there in your travels? I was at this place called the Magnuson in Columbia, and that was across the street from an abandoned mall with hood stores and convenience stores all around. That was like the best location if you wanted like a ghetto location right around a motel. That was a very surreal experience for me. I was reminded of times past. Places where movies could have been filmed, but it's now abandoned and decrepit. It was an eye-opening experience. Churches and malls, too. Churches and malls. You saw some of the content when I was there. But I was still there. And I would say I pretty much liked that motel for being in the ghetto right over there. It was like a 90-something% black motel. Maybe like 98% black, actually, over there. There was a black lesbian that lived downstairs, I know. There. She said something about some religious fanatic older black guy was giving her shit or something. Or something, or whatever. There were a few things that happened. I saw some fights there, too. They weren't every night, but I saw them here and there. I saw a woman break her boyfriend's window. By a hot, yes, I do. That's so true, Space Jew. Why are there so few of them around? Hey, Space Jew, you initiate that to me, right? Why is it so tough to get a lesbian woman to date me? Why is that so tough? I don't understand it at all. I don't get why they're so hard to find. I cannot find a nice lesbian to save my life. I can't. Even an older one. I just can't find them. I don't know where the hell they're hiding out. Honestly. But I never cross paths with them really. I don't know where they're ever. How do you know that? I mean, Tasha, you're attracted to certain people, right? But they're never in your existence, right? Even though they might be, the type might be for you though. But they're just not in your existence. Period. That's it.
Biggie, what the hell? Hold on a sec. Wait, don't kick him yet. Don't. 25. All right, 25 can go. Yeah, he can go. All right, fine. If you want to email me, mountainjohn@gmail.com. In fact, I'm going to put that here now in case anyone wants to hit me up with anything. You know, if you got anything to tell me or anything useful, you can point me to or whatever. mountainjohn@gmail.com. Write me down there. I'll probably check it after the stream and see if anyone wrote me there or not. Try Twitter. 90% of people there. That's not true. Maybe TikTok, but not Twitter. Not Twitter, though. I don't know. Yeah, they should, exactly. I think they do. I think they do. I just don't hang around areas where there's plenty of them. That's what it really is. I mean, the last neighborhood I was in was pretty much a white bread neighborhood. I mean, I saw mostly families and kids. Maybe I got done a favor getting thrown out of there, really, come to think about it. It was just a shock at first. When you get a knock on your door at 9:30 in the morning telling you gotta leave. I mean, come on. But besides that, maybe it will open the door for other things to come, possibly. I will wait and see. Maybe Omaha's just not for me. Maybe I thought it was for me because there's some nice places to go here, clearly. But the opportunities just ain't coming in for me. I can get hired. I'm going to tell you a story. I got hired twice, but I couldn't take the jobs because I didn't have housing. Okay? I got hired 2 times since I've been here. Twice. It's not that I can't get hired anywhere. But the housing is in a bad crisis in a lot of America, especially the red states, are having major crises with housing. That's why I'm thinking of going to the places that certain people are leaving now. I have to. Because a lot of these red states that people are running to, they're getting swamped with people now. It's nuts. Pretty soon, California and Colorado are going to be more empty because they're all going to other places. You know? And the red states are not all that. I'm telling you, they are not all that. I'm telling you right now, they're not. But at the same time, you don't want to be in a shithole like New York, where you got to pay tolls all the time, going over bridges. You don't want to do that. Now, if there's one Democratic state that's bad, very exceptionally bad, I would say New York. I would absolutely say New York. Yeah. The worst Democratic state in the Union is New York. And New Jersey. Both of them, it's like take your friggin' pick, you know, with those two. They're not progressive either. They are not progressive just because they're Democrat either. They're not progressive places to be. Hey, Tasha, did I tell you the story that I never wanted to leave New England? I wanted to leave Mass, but I wanted to go to Maine or Vermont or something. I didn't want to leave New England, though. But once I did, it was tough to get back. And I got back before, and it just never was the same for me when I came back. It's like when I left the first time, it just wasn't really meant to be. I only have like one family member back there or something right now. A couple, but one of them's on public housing and shit. And another one is, I have cousins there and stuff. They're living their own lives, you could say. But it's not this Wonderland fairy tale people think, like, oh, they want to return there. They might have family there, but But what if you never see them? Then it's kind of useless, you know? If you're never going to see your family out there, then it serves little purpose for me to really be living, at least in Massachusetts. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm ever going to live in Massachusetts again. I just think I'm going to visit there, or I'm going to take care of family business there. Like, like with my father's house or something like that. I don't know what's going to go on with that. But I'm gonna have to go there to take care of some business at some time, but I don't think I'm ever gonna move back to Mass. I'll tell you that. Where am I in Colorado? I'm kind of near Pueblo right now, actually. I'm in Pueblo. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Philadelphia is dirty. Yes, yes, it is. There was someone in Denver who said he lived in a trailer complex. I think it's in, I forget where it is, but told me it was like in some trailer complex 10 minutes from Denver or something like that. And this particular person talked with me last night, but then today gets better. He's like, oh yeah, like you told me you were a guy and you wanted to become a woman or something, but I really want a woman living in the house. Like, in other words, telling me that I was invalidated. And then I'm like, what kind of fucking world are you living in? You assume that someone who moves in with you is just going to want a relationship with you right off the bat? Just because I happen to be trans looking for a place? What the fuck is that? Some pissing or something. Thought I heard that earlier. I'm not sure. Yes, they are. They're very creepy. Those are the worst kinds of people around. You don't want to move in with anybody like that. No. But sometimes I've had a lot of those people email me in Nebraska and in maybe not everywhere in Denver, but in that particular area in Denver where that guy said he lived, I guess. Yeah. I don't know what it is. It seems to be a red state kind of thing more. That people, they want female roommates, you know? It just doesn't seem like something, it's very fascist to me. No, but there's actually not a ton of psychos in here. I mean, there was someone accidentally walked into my room last night, and I looked and I was like, what? I'm like, what? I was getting closer when I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And he might be an alcoholic. I don't know. He might have a few problems and stuff, but he realized he walked into the wrong room when he saw me, I guess. So no, I haven't really seen a lot of psychos over here, really. It seems like the psychos are more in the houses, actually. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe when he first saw me, I don't know. I don't latch it. No, there's not even a latch, I don't think, here. Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's a kind of a latch here. Yeah, there is. But I haven't used it, really. You know, every motel I stayed, I've never been robbed of anything. Can you believe it? I've never had anything taken from me. Even when I had stuff laying in the bed. I've never had anybody take anything from me. At any time that I stayed in a motel. It's almost like It's almost like people might sense something about me, so they might keep away from my truck, maybe. Just like spiritually, I don't know. Like when they see it. Because my truck, I'll tell you what my truck did to a little kid. Do you want to hear a story about what my truck did to a little kid one time? When I was in that Columbia motel in Columbia, South Carolina, right? There was this little black kid. He kept walking up to my truck over and over. He had to have been like 3 to 5 years old. He kept walking up to my truck, okay? But then his father kept pulling him away every single time he would. Okay? And then he would walk up to my truck again. And then he kept pulling him away. Then when he pulled him away and then he left, he walked up to I think he walked up to my truck or attempted to about 5 times. A child. So I don't know if he saw a spiritual energy or something or felt it, that he felt he had to keep walking up to my truck. I don't know. But that's an interesting story I figured I would share. That I did that, you know. That a little kid kept walking up to my truck over and over, and his father had to keep pulling him away. So maybe there is a spiritual energy that I managed to give off, even when people are not, even if they don't 100% see me, you know. But they might see a belonging of mine that carries my energy in it or something. I don't know. I'm still learning. I'm still a student of the game. Even though I am a witch in my own way, I am still a student. And I have to make it clear, I am still a student. But what I can't stand is when these people are such know-it-alls, they try to tell me that I did something wrong. Like they know every single thing about every little thing. You know? Yeah, I would call myself a witch. Yeah, I would. In my own way, I would. But it's more or less when people think they know everything. And they come at me. But I really believe in my own world that when you put a curse out there, it starts working before a week's time. Okay? Usually before a week's time, you start seeing the answers in my world. I do the very quick curses, the ones that will get you within a week. They will get you within that first week. So that's why when people come up to me 3 weeks after someone curses me, 3 weeks after they tell me when something starts happening in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, I'm like, you're too late. You're late. Yours didn't work because you're too late. You didn't do it within 1 week of it happening. Because that's how it works with mine. That's how it works with mine. And yeah, take notes, Stinky Brown. Take notes on that. You like to share my things, my videos in your community post. That's so gay. That fucking community post feature that people feel they have to use when they're posting about someone's content is fucking stupid. Especially when people abuse that. Roger Brown fucking abuses that community post thing, I notice. Because I always get notified when he fucking shares it. YouTube feels like they have to notify me when Roger Brown is fucking sharing my shit, whatever he has. I can't stand that guy. I'm telling you right now, I can't stand him. But it's all right. He lives a miserable life to himself. He might have a roof over his head, but he's got no running water. You know, that's no way to live. I mean, crap. But no, I may not spend the winter here. Like I initially thought maybe I was gonna. I may not now. I don't know. I said, unless a miracle comes very soon, and I can get locked into something that's for real for once, which I don't hold a whole lot of hope, looks like I'm going to be going again. That's what it looks like. Yeah, I'm on my last drink right now. I got to go get a few more tomorrow. Gotta go get a few more tomorrow. This is pretty much all I have left for a drink, really, besides water. I got my coffee machine back. I got all my stuff back. I mean, see, I had to go there yesterday and pick it all up at a certain time. I got that right there. I got that. I got the stuff I got at H&M right there. I did a mall shopping, okay, not long ago. Since I was in Nebraska anyway, I got them for 10. I got a few sales, like some at Aeropostale, and I went to H&M. I got this beautiful orange sweater. It comes up above the stomach and stuff. I haven't worn it yet. And all that. And I got some other stuff. This is how it got brought back to me. I got my detergent, I got my cups, I got my hats, I got just miscellaneous. My belts are right there and stuff. Because it was ordered that I got back all of my stuff because I was thrown out so soon where I couldn't get everything, so I had to go back and get it. I couldn't have contact of any kind with the homeowner. I couldn't write him. My mom had to be the third party. She had to text him, okay, for me because I was ordered I could not write him, okay. That's how that went. So this is the thing nowadays. A lot of people, they just use the law to hide behind a lot of times. Trolls do it. People living in homes do it. But the people, do my parents get along with me? I would say they do sometimes. Yeah, I would say maybe more now I get along with my mother than I did before at times. But I would say that it's very. But then there's times I think, like with my father, he might have been a barrier to me at times to getting things done. My father has been sometimes a barrier in my life for me also. I mean, I kind of have a weird relationship with my father. Like, I can't tell him everything. I don't feel like I can tell him everything still just because of the past, sort of thing. I can't. A lot of times. Yeah. You know it, Dan. Yeah. Yeah. So, that's why I try to get my mother to move out of Oregon. Because when she moved up there, it changed everything, like with their third marriage and shit. That's one state I cannot stand and that I know I will not go back to is Oregon. I know that for a fact. Unless it's a total emergency, maybe. But other than that, I'm trying to stay the hell out of there. Within the best of my ability. Almost, Aaron, yeah. For her third marriage, she moved out in that area. Yeah, imagine that. Kind of right around Portland there, yeah. Metal Kitty, $5. Thank you, Metal Kitty, for coming through. Metal Kitty comes through with $5. Very good. Mm-hmm. Come on, I think will always help. Yes, ultimately. Yep. Nice to see you in here. All right. So, Hi, zombies. What's going on, zombies? Noodles is a Navy SEAL? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Come off it. Where'd you hear that from? Tell me. Is that like the new thing going around? And yeah, they're right around Portland. That's the thing, Aaron. And when I was out there living, it's actually the worst area in the country to live in. I'm telling you, it's one of the worst, Aaron. I mean, it's so bad that it made the Deep South look good. That's why I went to the Deep South to begin with. I get driven so crazy there. I figured, how bad could it friggin' be to leave there just to go anywhere? Portland, Oregon. Plus, it gets all that rain up there, too. If you're going to go to the West Coast, at least go to Los Angeles. I mean, Christ. That's going to be the only way I look at things from now on. I would say Los Angeles, number one. Maybe Anaheim, too, could be in there. In Sacramento. Would you fit in with the four? No, I didn't. Aaron, I did not. Aaron, that's what you would think, but it wasn't true at all. They were very exclusionary over there. They didn't like me when I showed up. I introduced myself. I try to get meetups going online. The only person who would talk to me was a black trans girl who hung around all white people. That's really about it. I mean, everybody else would not recognize me over there. They wouldn't. Even when I try to introduce myself, they didn't want none of me over there. They tried to exclude me at every friggin' turn in Portland. Kind of like in the Deep South, too. They didn't want me there either. The trans people didn't want me. We're talking about the trans people here, folks, and the LGBT. They probably do, but I'm not. I'm as far left as them. That's the friggin' thing. Why would they think I'm a Republican? It's like their radar says that I'm a Republican when I didn't even open my fucking mouth about anything. That's quite a way to judge somebody, ain't it? Yeah. You had to put your phone in rice because it. So you put your phone in cooked rice and it worked better. Zombies, what the hell am I gonna hear from you next? Huh? No, it isn't. It's the least welcoming state. It's worse than Nebraska. It's worse than Nebraska even. I'll tell you that right now. It's maybe South Carolina. It's close, but I think Oregon's even worse than South Carolina, to be honest with you. It's one of the very worst for outsiders to come to, actually. I would not recommend Portland. That's like stepping into total hills have eyes country over there. I would not recommend it whatsoever. Like you got this progressive oasis, Portland, or so they say, and then everything around it is like the hills have eyes. It's creepy. And that vibe goes right into the city. Here's how I describe Portland. You got what could be a very nice city on your hands. You got bridges, you got little businesses, you got food carts, you got all this stuff down there, right? But the vibe from the outside, the terrible vibe from the outside of the city tries to go into the city, and it goes so inward, and then it kind of stops when it gets to the progressive little center of the city, kind of. Then it kind of stops a little bit. But when you go to the outside fringes of everything, unless you pick a small, tiny handful of neighborhoods maybe that might be more bearable, Like Gresham's pretty bearable. Gresham is my favorite area of Portland. Gresham. If I was going to pick anywhere on the fringes of Portland to live, because most of it's not that good, I would say Gresham. And a lot of Oregonians think Gresham is the worst place to live, but I don't think that way. That's probably one of the better neighborhoods if you get a little further out, because it's more rougher. It's rougher looking. It's more multicultural. It's more in the rough, I'd like to say. I mean, that's probably the one tolerable place I would say if you're going to be around Portland is probably Gresham. Or the Gresham Troutdale line. There's a nice cigar shop on the Gresham Troutdale line, actually. It's a pretty nice place also, I think, over there. Unless you're dead center of Portland, it's pretty close-minded. That's 100% true. That's 100% true. It's like you're in Alabama or something. It's not a place to be. I'll say that. The progressiveness does not extend like it does in Massachusetts. It doesn't extend for miles. No, it doesn't. It's like in that little dead center of Portland. Massachusetts is like that dead center of Portland for more miles. You know, like you could go within 20 miles of Boston, maybe let's just say 10 miles of Boston in all directions. It will all be like that center area of Portland. And then when it gets 20 miles out, then it gets to be malls. But it's still populated, nothing really backwards feeling about it. You know, immigrants maybe in suburban communities. And then you go out to where I grew up. It's kind of the sticks, but it's developed also. But it's still not the greatest place to live, but you got to go 35 minutes to get... The fuck is going on here? This is the first time I think I saw this. First time I heard this in all the fucking time I've been here. I had to keep an eye on this fucking wag over here. I guess a car left with their shit or something. It's so weird because I haven't really heard them a whole lot. Until now. They better not make too much noise. They'll get thrown out of here. Tell you that. Very miserable out though. I tell you, this weather has just been awful the last 2 days here. No way. Why are you telling me to move? I just left Florida. Why the hell am I going to go back? She left. I guess the car's coming over there to pick her up or some shit. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. No idea. No idea whatsoever. I think she's the only white girl I ran into who talks like that around here. I think she's the only one. I don't know if that's the one who works here or what. I can't tell from here. She looks like she's got that body to her. No, I'm not at all in a ghetto. I'm in a moderate area. I'm not in a ghetto at all. That was a white girl. That was a white girl. She was probably German or something. Just from the look from the back, it might even be. I thought it was the person who worked here, maybe. It didn't seem like her face to face, I'll say that. This is not really the hood that I'm in. It's not. It's a moderate area. It's probably in a mostly white area, actually. But with some people of other cultures, like there are Mexicans who stay here and shit. But it's not what I consider bad by any means, though. I'll tell you that. It's usually quiet here, too. No, you're not going to do that. Space Jew, I got to give you a timeout right there. I don't like the words you're saying right now to me. Right at this time. Your last two things you said there, just a very... I'm not moving a floor in number one, so... You're in Dallas and it isn't too bad. You're right in downtown, though. Yeah, I thought Dallas would have been good maybe if you were in Garland or something. If you had to live in an outskirt of Dallas, I'd probably move to Garland or something. Actually, I looked at Garland when I looked at Dallas, actually. I didn't go there, though, but I looked at it when I was in Oregon. Yeah, I know. This isn't really the ghetto where I'm at. No, it's not. Not this time it isn't. You heard the food is tremendous, but that doesn't mean that's a good place to live. Is that right? You got several accounts. That's not true. Space Jew, though, that's stupid commenting right there. FTMs. Are you really an FTM? Fuck, dude. Really? Garland isn't. Right, that's what I mean. That's why I looked at Garland. It's so close in. That's exactly why I looked at it. If Omaha has a Garland, it's probably Bellevue or something. It's probably what I would say it's like. Actually. He acts like Brian K. Well, maybe it is Brian K. I don't know. I do not know. So back to someone asked me, someone told me they thought I was a Republican and that's why they didn't think I fit with them, the trans people in Portland. That's something I wanted to discuss, actually. Who said that? I don't think that was Brian K. who said that. No. I just don't know why I would be assumed to be. But how do they know that? How the fuck do they know that unless I open my mouth? How do they know? They don't know anything. Biggie. Yeah, Biggie, you said it. That's who said it. You said it. That's right. You said it. I just don't get it. I announced myself as a trans person. And there was someone who even told me online too, right? And I think it was a bitch who was in Antifa or something. She told me that she told me that I'm not a real trans person. No, but it's not that good because I'm not a Republican. I am not a Republican, Biggie. So they're wrong with me. That's the funny thing. They're very wrong. They assume. But until they talk to me, they don't fucking know shit. They're trying to use me for what? What are you talking about? What do they smell? I mean, I like to hear this. Even though it's true, I like to hear it. Because I don't think of myself at all as a Republican, at all. I feel so far removed from it, actually. No, I don't think I am. Your taxes are super low. You have a big following. That's not true. They don't know of my following though. I came to them on another website. This has nothing to do with my YouTube channel now, mind you. Just me, without this channel. Just me on another account. I didn't have as many friends as this. I didn't have as many subs. I just came up to some of them that I thought maybe might have wanted to talk. That's all. No, I don't, Biggie. I think that's actually nonsense for the most part. I think white people have it pretty damn good, actually. If you want to look at the overall whole, they do. They claim that they're like 11% of the global population or whatever, but white people aren't hated when they go into other countries, really. That's how I look at it. It's not like they're going to get shot going into other countries, per se. It's an each following that they want, probably. I know what it is, too. Age. I think age is one factor, too. I think age is one factor as well. I don't know. I think age is possibly one factor and all that. The Portland, Oregon crowd, they're very ageist. Yeah, they're very ageist over there. They're not very welcoming, in my opinion, over there. They're very ageist. That's actually a word that I was looking for. They judge you by age in certain areas. They actually do. Yep. They assume because you're 41 that you're not on their level at all. Yeah, exactly. It's not about age to me. It's about making actual change. It isn't about age in my friggin' world. But if they want to be that way, then they're just as bad as the right wingers that they want to complain about, in my eyes. They're just as bad as the neo-Nazis that they claim they hate. If they want to go that far, they're not the way forward. I'll most certainly say that right now. They're not the way forward. Yeah, well, more of them are uneducated than you think. You know, more of them are. But you know what that does? It doesn't necessarily makes me want to switch sides. But it makes me want to be a disruptor within. You know, I'll be that disruptor within. Instead of just changing sides because certain people of that side piss me off or something like that. I'll just challenge them while I'm within their realm, you know? And all that. It's fun to fuck with both sides, though, too, sometimes. Like I scared the shit out of this conservative Ron DeSantis supporter. So I'm not a Republican at all. I'll tell you that right now. Because I loved it when I scared the shit out of this Republican Ron DeSantis supported woman on Plenty of Fish before. Or something. When I found out she moved to Florida from a West Coast state, I at the very least made her think that people like me followed her there. And she thought she was going to have none of them where she went. And then she runs into me. I find things like that funny, for sure. That's how I like to troll people, actually. I like to make these people who think they're never going to run into another type, like a liberal lefty, when they go to Florida or someplace like that. Because DeSantis is trying to make it friendly for certain people to move there or whatever. So that I show up and I introduce myself as a leftist liberal, and she flips her shit to herself and hides on me. Like, oh shit, I just ran into one of them. Are there any more around? Are there any more around? It's like I get them freaking out almost. And now see, that kind of shit's funny to me right there. So no, these retarded so-called lefties who don't want to accept me due to my age or something, I'll just challenge them. I won't leave their section per se, though. I'll just challenge them so much that they'll want to run away. That's what I'll do. And then I'll just stay. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like the other side, you know? Like when I ran into a Ron DeSantis supporter, she freaked out when she saw me and I introduced myself. See, I do things differently, you know? See, I'm not like the young generations will totally segregate into all conversations with the far right. But I don't have that option. I'm not in a white privilege vacuum where I have that option. You see what I'm saying? I actually even think the younger kids are more privileged who are left too. Yes, I do. I think they're part of it too. Yes. Along with the white privileged Republicans as well. Yes. Or even some of the working class that are doing well for themselves enough to leave the working class neighborhoods and move to upper working class neighborhoods, you could say. Or something like that. So there's definitely problems on both sides, for sure. Where I am more prone to arguments depending on the circles. Central Florida is about, how do I troll the left? Well, I really don't very often. The only time I really did was when when I was in that guy's chat, or whoever the hell that was, Cyber Demon. Maybe somebody like that. Cyber Demon. Yeah, that person. And who else? Oh, I can't think of anything more recent where I trolled the left. Maybe when I saw Texas Paul. I don't know. I'm under the impression this Texas Paul guy isn't going to do anything. This Texas Paul got introduced as like a Texas Republican looking guy, only he votes Democrat or something. He looks exactly like someone who votes Republican, but yet he's on the left or whatever. They're trying to introduce this guy. And I don't think I can take him seriously. Is this guy for real? Or are they just kind of pushing him just for the hell of it? That's what I start to want to. In fact, that's the perfect kind of person I could picture Mark Terry probably supporting. Actually, he seems to be like that Southern Democrat type of person. Maybe even a Blue Dog Democrat. Mark Terry doesn't really come off like a Republican to me. He comes off more like, if he had any kind of political views, he would probably be like more like a Blue Dog Democrat or something. Mark Terry, I'm talking about. Now, this is the crowd that Texas Paul is trying to play to, though, I notice. The Blue Dog Democrat crowd. Which has some real, what I would call some pretty contradicting people in that faction of the Democrats right there. You have hung out with Hunter Biden. How was it? Tell me how it was. How was Hunter Biden as a person? Face to face, without all that other shit that you hear about him. What was Hunter Biden like? Yeah, Mr. T, yeah. He reminds me of someone who would probably be like a Blue Dog Democrat or something. Yeah. You love him so much, really? Oh, okay. So the Noodles has the problem then when he features him pulling on a woman's hair and shit. The truth about it is Hunter Biden, he might look very disheveled, but at least he's a pimp, right? I mean, to a good point. Can't get mad at him, can you, for that? Because it's really what you want to be, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's what you want to be. So don't get mad at what you can't be. That's really what it comes down to. He's your spirit animal, huh? Okay. I think Biden did a good thing recently is that he gave stimulus money for some people for gas with the rise in prices here and stuff. He did do that. He gave some stimulus money to some people to make up for the high gas prices or whatever. He did. How did he help you start a family? Do tell the story if that's a real story. How did he help you start a family? Let's hear it. Well, inflation's going to go up no matter who the president is. It was going up under Trump, too. Inflation with products. Someone said something recently. I don't know who it was, but I caught it tonight. Well, what did he do? Tell me. Space Jew, what did he do to you that you can have a family? But someone told me now, and I sense this everywhere I go, the prices are so high in the mall now that nobody's buying. Anyone notice malls are not full anymore like they used to be? Even the nice malls, they're not full anymore like they used to be. Does anybody notice this? And the prices are getting higher in malls now. That's one thing I noticed. The prices are higher than they've ever been in malls. And they have half the people going into them. Because once in a while, I will go into a mall because it's part of my youth. It's part of my nostalgia. I grew up around malls. You know, I grew up around malls. Yeah, they have been, but these modern malls, when they go, what's going to replace them? This is it for the malls. This is the last wave of the malls right here that we're in. If the malls go out of business now, there's not going to be a new upgraded mall to replace these. Where are they going to build them? Where are they going to build them? I think malls this time, once they all die, they're going to be dead. I really think malls are totally going to end this time. And this is the final wave of the malls. They're not going to be building any new ones. They're not getting the funding. The stores aren't making enough money. People are buying from the discount racks at all the stores now in the malls. I don't know where that is. What the fuck is the Moorestown Mall? I've never been there. Don't even know what state it's in. Must not be important enough. Well, you can leave your house. Everyone's got to leave the house. Maybe, but I'm talking about cities in America, like maybe Columbia, South Carolina, Omaha, even Tampa, Florida. There's a lot of abandoned malls now. Citrus Park Mall's got it's half abandoned now too. What's supposed to be a newer area of Tampa is now they have a half abandoned mall just about now. Citrus Park Mall. Last time I went there, it's still nice inside and shit, but there's more abandoned space now in many malls, in many outlet areas, or outdoor malls like with those town centers, you know? Columbia, South Carolina, at least half of one of those was abandoned. In the northeast side of town, I believe it was. There was this nice mall. It was like an outdoor mall that was set up like a town center, and they had a movie theater that no one even went to. It was abandoned just kind of like it was in the hood. It's weird. It's like everything's getting abandoned in Colombia very slowly. That's like if San Diego was the total pits. That's what I explained earlier. It could be like San Diego if it did itself all up and over. But Columbia, South Carolina is a dying city. I'm telling you that. It's dying everywhere around there. And what isn't dying is gonna within a 5 year time over there. That's gonna be a totally abandoned city. And then they're going to make it that way, too, because it's a red state. They're going to let it all fall, and they don't believe in fixing and repairing shit in red states. They don't. They'd rather let it fall than have it be developed. That's what they want. Like you get in the reverse extreme from gentrification, where they just let it all die. They let it all die. Which means there's no jobs, there's no housing. It ends up being the same result as gentrification in the end. Would I rather it be abandoned, though? Yes. Than have it fully gentrified? Yes. Because there'd be more abandoned spaces to camp out in. The cops wouldn't really hassle you if you had an RV and you were living in one of those parking lots. So that's good, I suppose. But there wouldn't be any jobs. There wouldn't be anything really of any kind. It would be cool in a different way, I guess. But I don't know if you could do it long term unless you had some money rolling in, maybe. People should leave. That's not true. I wouldn't move to Brazil. You know where I would move? Africa. I would actually move to Africa if I could leave this country. I would move to an African country. When there's a day when my parents are not here anymore, I'm probably going to leave the country. I'm either going to go to prison or I'm going to leave the country. I'm going to do one of the two. You know, I'm either going to go to prison or I'm going to leave the country. When I have absolutely no family here anymore, I'm leaving. That's it. I'm leaving the United States. You know. Maybe I'll even go to Tel Aviv, Israel. Sneer tells me I could possibly move to Tel Aviv, Israel. You know. I talked to him. He told me that. Showed me Tel Aviv and videos and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe one day I could make it out there. Seems like a pretty dynamic place to go. I wouldn't go to Europe though. I would not move to Europe. Nowhere in Europe I would move to. That's the thing. I would move to either Israel. Well, maybe not Israel. I mean, I'd probably go to Tel Aviv, but I don't know if I would live in Israel or not. But I would definitely try to move to Africa, probably. An African country. Someplace that's kind of dynamic, but still inexpensive. The only place I could come up with is, maybe there's others, but Lagos, Nigeria. Maybe. Lagos, Nigeria. Jewish, I might be. I wasn't raised Jewish though. If I am a Jew, it was the Jews in central Italy, and I'm of that DNA if that be the case. But I was not raised Jewish. No.
Yes, I would be Venetian Jewish. That's exactly right. If there's anything there, that's what I would be, or Turkish or something. We're either Turks or we're Jews in Venice. Well, one of the two. We're either Turks or we're Jews in Venice, Italy. That's right. Or Tunisian. That's another thing. We're either Tunisian, we're Turks, or we're Jews. Maybe even a blend of the three sometimes. I really think that makes up the Italian race, really. Yep, that too. That, it could very well be. I could have Sephardic Jew then. I could. I absolutely actually could. Yeah, come to think about it. Yep, that makes total sense. They're in Turkey, and then Jews lived in Italy, and then Turks live in Italy, then who knows? It's like a Jew fest in Venice, Italy, for Christ's sakes. My grandmother, okay, always used to talk to me about how she wanted to go to a nice Jewish deli, and she doesn't have one around where she lives. Okay, but she always talked to me, maybe not always, but enough times where I remember my grandmother mentioned wanting to have a Jewish deli near her. You know, she has mentioned it, and she wasn't even raised Jewish. So, so there. Anytime I ever went into a Jewish deli, I thought they were good places. I love Jewish delis. When I've gone into the, what did I teach you just now? What did I just teach you? Your great grandmother was a Jewish woman. Well, bless her. All right. My heritage. Well, it pretty much sums it up. Venice, Italy, you know. So no, I don't have any bit Sicilian. And that's also why certain Sicilians saw me. They didn't think I was one of them. They thought I was more Jewish than I was one of them, actually. Even though I was considered Italian and they were, they didn't see me as Italian, really. You know? I'm not saying everybody judged me, but some sure did. I'll say that. Venice, as in Venice Beach. Venice. Jesus Christ, not Venus. It was a mixture of Turks, Jews, and Tunisian people, I believe. Here's another thing. Anyone know where fried dough originated from? You think fried dough is American, right? Like, you get fried dough at a carnival or at a flea market or something, right? When you get fried dough. But you know where fried dough originated from? Does anybody really know? Where did fried dough really... you might be close, but not Venice. Not exactly what I had in mind. Tunisia. They have what they call Tunisian fried dough. Tunisian fried dough, which is North Africa. Tunisia is North Africa. And when I saw some of those people, they actually look like some of my ancestors too. So that's why I say it could be Tunisian and Jewish over there also, and maybe blended. Maybe they blended over there. I'm thinking. I don't know anything about Malta. I'm not going to run this stream that much longer. I don't know. All you think I'm going to run this stream forever and ever and ever. I don't like doing long live streams anymore. I don't. I'm not getting caught up in that. I gotta charge my phone and I gotta go soon. So any last words before I do? I really hate doing this now. This is no fun for me anymore. I'm just letting y'all know. It's really not that much fun for me to come on here too often. I don't know how everyone has the energy to come on here all the time, honestly. I just don't. Kind of burning out off of it. All right. So I'll talk after. Anyone wants to email me again, meltonjohn@gmail.com. Send your emails as soon as you can.